Welcome, curious viewers. Today we explore the darkest, chilling mystery of the ancient Maya world. They built massive stone pyramids and grand, sprawling cities in the jungle without metal tools or simple wheels. In the tragic 9th century, millions vanished, leaving their great empire to the silent, overgrown forest. Did ancient aliens abduct them? Or was it a devastating war? The truth is far more terrifying. Join us as we boldly unlock the dark mystery of how the brilliant Maya Empire destroyed itself. Deep within the lush, uncharted jungles of Central America lies the forgotten legacy of a brilliant society. The ancient Maya truly flourished here, creating a vibrant culture filled with towering stone monuments. They engineered massive urban centers, housing countless citizens under a sacred and divine rule. According to complex historical records, their kings claimed absolute power as living embodiments of gods. These powerful rulers commanded vast armies of loyal laborers to construct breathtaking limestone pyramids. They built these grand architectural wonders entirely without the use of metal tools or simple wooden carts. They relied on sheer human strength, carving enormous stone blocks with simple obsidian blades and sharp flint. The Maya were brilliant master astronomers, mapping the complex movements of the stars with stunning precision. Their advanced mathematics included zero, allowing them to create a highly accurate solar calendar. For centuries, this great society dominated the region, expanding their territory and vast wealth. Grand central plazas hosted vibrant markets, where traders exchanged precious jade, exotic feathers, and cacao beans. Advanced agriculture thrived through complex irrigation networks and terraced fields across the fertile valleys. The booming population surged rapidly, transforming the dense rainforest into interconnected cities. The magnificent Golden Era saw incredible artistic achievements, with intricate murals decorating temple walls. Yet, despite this overwhelming success and undeniable brilliance, a dark shadow slowly loomed over the horizon. By the desperate end of the 8th century, the vibrant heartbeat of the Maya world began to falter and fade. The grand ceremonial centers were abruptly abandoned, leaving their sacred temples completely, utterly empty. Royal monuments ceased to be carved forever, and the complex historical records suddenly stopped entirely. A deafening, chilling silence fell over the once bustling plazas, replacing the joyful sounds of daily life. The magnificent stone cities, taking generations to build, were fully surrendered to the wild, thick jungle. Creeping vines and roots consumed the towering pyramids, burying the glorious past beneath the endless green leaves. Millions of desperate citizens vanished into thin air, leaving no explanation for their sudden, tragic departure. This monumental, catastrophic collapse remains one of the greatest and most chilling enigmas in human history. Imagine your entire world crumbling around you. Would you stay to fight, or abandon your sacred ancestral home? Dedicated scholars have long fiercely debated the true cause of this sudden and catastrophic societal collapse. Did the Maya simply pack up and leave forever? Or were they violently forced out by an unseen and deadly terror? The silent, crumbling ruins offer few direct answers, forcing modern researchers to piece together the broken clues. Many wild, speculative theories have emerged over the decades to explain the dramatic downfall of this mighty empire. Some early, highly imaginative theorists even suggested that extraterrestrial beings abducted the entire population at once. While entertaining for fiction, serious, dedicated historians completely dismiss these totally baseless alien claims. A plausible, dark hypothesis pointed towards brutal and devastating warfare between the fiercely rival city-states. The Maya were fiercely competitive. They frequently engaged in ruthless, devastating battles for regional dominance. Ancient murals depict terrifying scenes of captive warriors vanquished without mercy to appease their dark gods. However, extensive, careful digs reveal that warfare was mostly strictly limited to the elite, royal ruling classes. There is simply not enough physical evidence of mass destruction to suggest a total war of absolute annihilation. Common, hard-working farmers were usually spared entirely, making warfare an unlikely cause for a mass extinction event. Another popular, alarming theory proposed that a horrific, unstoppable pandemic swept rapidly through the dense jungles. A highly contagious, devastating disease could theoretically wipe out a massive urban population in just a few short months. When scientists carefully examined the tragic skeletal remains found hidden deep in the ancient tombs and silent mass graves, they found absolutely no physical trace of a sweeping plague or deadly virus that could silence millions of people forever. The fragile bones showed obvious, tragic signs of malnutrition, but absolutely nothing pointing to a sudden biological wipeout. With devastating warfare and deadly disease ruled out, the profound historical mystery deeply frustrated experts worldwide. What unseen, powerful hidden force could possibly be powerful enough to dismantle such an advanced, highly resilient society? The elusive answer remained a dark mystery, until a new generation of scientists looked in an unexpected place. They strategically turned their attention away from the pyramids and carefully focused on the dirt beneath their very feet. By carefully extracting deep mud cores from the dark bottom of ancient lakes, dedicated climatologists uncovered a dark secret. Hidden sedimentary layers act exactly like a magical time machine, recording environmental conditions of the distant past. What they ultimately found safely hidden inside these muddy cylinders completely changed our modern understanding of the collapse. Complex chemical analysis dramatically revealed that during the tragic 9th century, a devastating drought struck the region. This was absolutely not a typical expected dry season. It was an unprecedented drought, lasting for well over a century. The once reliable, abundant rains simply stopped falling completely, leaving the crucial, life-saving water reservoirs totally dry. Without a reliable, steady water supply, the incredibly complex agricultural system that fed millions began to fail. But the truly shocking revelation was that the brilliant Maya themselves had inadvertently caused this dramatic climate shift. Could our relentless, blind pursuit of technological progress eventually trigger our own ultimate downfall? Seriously think about it. To proudly build their magnificent, grand cities, the Maya desperately needed massive amounts of white stucco plaster for coating. Creating this essential, smooth building material required fiercely burning many thousands of tons of freshly cut green limestone. The blazing ancient kilns relentlessly consumed unimaginable amounts of wood, forcing exhausted laborers to clear-cut the entire jungle. Producing just one single ton of stucco recklessly required relentlessly burning 20 tons of precious forest wood continuously. As ambitious cities grew increasingly larger, the relentless, destructive deforestation accelerated at a terrifying and rapid pace, violently stripping the sacred land of its protective tree canopy, drastically and permanently altered the highly delicate local climate. Without essential trees to effectively retain moisture, the scorching atmospheric temperature steadily began to rise higher each day. This profound ecological hubris tragically disrupted vital rain cycles, permanently sealing the devastating fate of their own civilization. The unforgiving, scorching sun violently baked the heavily exposed earth, rapidly turning fertile farmlands into barren, cracked wastelands. Desperate, starving farmers watched helplessly as their vital, sustaining corn crops tragically withered and died under the brutal heat. The majestic, immensely powerful kings, who proudly claimed to magically control the weather and directly speak with gods, were completely powerless. Desperate, fearful high priests frantically performed dark rituals, desperately begging the powerful rain god Chak to show divine mercy on their souls. But the unforgiving, merciless skies remained stubbornly, perfectly clear and blue, cruelly mocking the frantic, absolutely desperate prayers of a dying empire. Severe hunger and terrible, inescapable dehydration spread incredibly rapidly through the crowded urban centers, quickly igniting massive panic. The violently starving, desperate population totally lost all faith in their divine rulers, suddenly realizing the powerful kings were really ordinary men. Fragile social order completely collapsed as desperate, furiously angry citizens violently rebelled against the immensely powerful, wealthy elites. Grand, magnificent palaces were furiously burned. Highly sacred monuments were defaced, and the mighty rulers were violently overthrown. To somehow survive the apocalyptic nightmare, the terrified Maya had absolutely no choice but to abandon their glorious cities forever. They desperately scattered into much smaller, highly isolated settlements near the coast, tragically leaving the grand pyramids to the wild jungle. Their brilliant, advanced mathematics could not magically save them from the brutal, deeply tragic consequences of their own environmental mistakes. The haunting, deeply profound silence of the rapidly crumbling ruins today is a truly chilling testament to the fragile nature of extreme human greed. The catastrophic, absolute, dramatic fall of the incredible Maya was absolutely not caused by terrifying alien invasions or brutal external military conquests. It was a deeply dark, incredibly devastating tragedy entirely written by their own hands. A catastrophic disaster born strictly from extreme ecological pride. Modern, highly dedicated experts point directly and confidently to the stark, undeniable evidence now safely hidden deep within the remarkably ancient lake mud cores. The incredibly revealing sediment layers perfectly and undeniably align with the remarkably exact, deeply tragic timeline of the great civilization's absolute ultimate fall. When the brutal, incredibly severe drought finally and devastatingly reached its most terrifying, absolute devastating peak, the entire complex society completely fractured. Desperate, incredibly suffering citizens, violently driven entirely mad by relentless, unyielding thirst and cruel starvation, tragically abandoned their highly sacred, beautiful temples. The completely divine, mighty rulers, who were once incredibly blindly worshipped as powerful living gods, were forcefully and violently overthrown by the immensely angry mob. Imagine the complete, sheer, overwhelming panic as massive, absolutely vital reservoirs, once beautifully overflowing, became tragically, incredibly cracked, and hopelessly dry earth. The truly brilliant, absolutely intricate agricultural system, once incredibly capable of successfully feeding millions, instantly and absolutely catastrophically collapsed forever and completely. Vast, completely endless fields of incredibly essential, wonderfully life-giving crops completely withered away, tragically leaving absolutely nothing but totally dry dust in the scorching wind. The totally desperate, fearful kings frantically and urgently offered tragic sacrifices to desperately beg the immensely mighty rain god Chak for his elusive mercy. But the incredibly cruel, entirely merciless sky remained completely, utterly, and absolutely devastatingly dry, rapidly and unstoppably accelerating the violent, irreversible social breakdown. Without incredibly vital, absolutely sustaining water or basic food, the magnificent, grand stone cities quickly and tragically transformed into deadly traps for the terrified people. Millions incredibly desperately fled the rapidly crumbling urban centers, frantically and breathlessly migrating toward the beautifully distant coastal regions to hopefully find absolutely any tiny drops of water. The absolutely magnificent, beautifully towering pyramids, brutally and entirely stripped of their former incredible glory, were tragically left to the incredibly encroaching, intensely dark jungle. Over the absolutely next few incredibly dramatic centuries, intensely wild nature aggressively, completely, and absolutely ruthlessly reclaimed exactly what the highly ambitious humans had foolishly stolen. Massive, absolutely crushing giant tree roots violently and completely shattered the remarkably intricate stone carvings, relentlessly breaking apart the ancient, deeply sacred altars. The incredibly bustling, magnificently grand central plazas, once wonderfully filled with vibrant markets, became perfectly silent, completely empty homes for peacefully wandering wild animals. This absolutely complete, undeniably devastating societal collapse successfully and effectively provides a deeply profound, incredibly chilling lesson for our incredibly modern, immensely industrialized global world. Can our truly brilliant, incredibly advanced technology truly and completely effectively protect us from the highly brutal, entirely unforgiving forces of a rapidly changing, increasingly volatile climate? The truly brilliant, incredibly gifted Maya absolutely possessed incredibly gifted minds, wonderfully inventing highly complex mathematics and absolutely accurate astronomical calendars. Yet the absolutely undeniable, completely profound intelligence could entirely not magically prevent the totally catastrophic, terribly deadly consequences of completely relentless, massive deforestation. They completely and entirely foolishly sacrificed their absolutely crucial, highly delicate environment just to incredibly aggressively build massive monuments of intense vanity and absolutely immense power. Today, highly dedicated, totally modern climatologists incredibly carefully study their highly ancient, utterly tragic mistakes with a completely rapidly growing, overwhelming sense of deeply profound dread. We are currently and absolutely undeniably witnessing completely, terrifyingly similar patterns of totally extreme weather and absolutely massive, entirely irreversible environmental destruction. The entirely ancient, incredibly deeply revealing mud cores strongly, clearly, and absolutely warn us that prolonged, deeply severe droughts can easily destroy highly complex human societies. The deeply tragic, entirely absolutely heartbreaking Maya story deeply reveals that intense wild nature absolutely, undeniably, always collects its extremely heavy debts in the utterly bitter end. Their completely vanished, tragically deeply forgotten empire intensely proves that absolutely no complex human civilization is entirely, permanently invincible to entirely dramatic, sudden, massive climate shifts. We entirely, absolutely must completely, carefully and utterly seriously, vividly examine these ancient ruins. Not strictly as simple tourist attractions, but directly as deeply grave historical warnings. The absolutely forgotten, intensely silent stones incredibly brilliantly speak, absolutely incredibly loudly, highly powerfully, deeply, echoing a desperate, perfectly urgent plea, intensely, across the endless, passing centuries. They intensely, deeply, passionately, absolutely urge us to fiercely protect our highly fragile, entirely crucial, vital ecosystems, before we completely face an entirely, deeply, terrifyingly similar, apocalyptic fate. If we absolutely, entirely, totally, stubbornly continue to recklessly and intensely exploit the precious earth, our totally immense cities might tragically become completely, absolutely, totally, entirely, silent ruins. Will completely curious, highly brilliant future archaeologists absolutely ever entirely deeply dig through our massively complex, perfectly solid, heavily dense concrete jungles, wondering why exactly we failed to successfully survive? The incredibly tragic, entirely profound story of the truly great, completely highly ancient Maya absolutely stands directly as a deeply chilling, absolutely perfectly clear mirror, directly reflecting our potential environmental doom. It powerfully, decisively challenges us to strictly and deeply reconsider our incredibly vital, fragile relationship with the glorious natural world that highly sustains all existing life. True, meaningful human progress absolutely cannot be entirely and solely measured directly by our absolutely magnificent, breathtaking, and towering grand architectural achievements. Sustainable, entirely peaceful, and complete harmony with the highly delicate environment is absolutely the highly critical and absolute only way to successfully ensure our long-term survival. The immensely proud, incredibly once glorious Maya kings entirely and absolutely tragically learned this profoundly deep, completely painful historical lesson only when it was entirely too late. Their entirely breathtaking, highly absolutely magnificent civilization was completely, absolutely, ruthlessly, and fatally swallowed exactly by the incredibly dark wild forest they highly foolishly tried to fiercely conquer. The intensely silent, beautifully moss-covered grand pyramids proudly stand as permanent, entirely eternal, strictly, deeply tragic monuments to incredibly profound, arrogant human ecological vanity and absolute, ultimate folly. The absolutely haunting, entirely profoundly, deeply beautiful nature of these completely majestic, strictly ancient, towering structures definitely hides a truly intensely terrifying, remarkably absolute, deep, historical truth. They were highly totally destroyed, not by entirely terrifying fictional alien invaders, but strictly by their absolute own, entirely deeply disastrous, purely, highly incredibly destructive, collective environmental choices. By entirely relentlessly, violently cutting down the deeply vital, fully protective, precious jungle, they absolutely, literally, and completely, entirely successfully, fatally, definitively, purely sealed their deeply inescapable, absolute doom. Welcome, curious viewers. Today we explore the darkest, chilling mystery of the ancient Maya world. They built massive stone pyramids and grand, sprawling cities in the jungle without metal tools or simple wheels. In the tragic 9th century, millions vanished, leaving their great empire to the silent, overgrown forest. Did ancient aliens abduct them? Or was it a devastating war? The truth is far more terrifying. Join us as we boldly unlock the dark mystery of how the brilliant Maya Empire destroyed itself. Deep within the lush, uncharted jungles of Central America lies the forgotten legacy of a brilliant society. The ancient Maya truly flourished here, creating a vibrant culture filled with towering stone monuments. They engineered massive urban centers, housing countless citizens under a sacred and divine rule. According to complex historical records, their kings claimed absolute power as living embodiments of gods. These powerful rulers commanded vast armies of loyal laborers to construct breathtaking limestone pyramids. They built these grand architectural wonders entirely without the use of metal tools or simple wooden carts. They relied on sheer human strength, carving enormous stone blocks with simple obsidian blades and sharp flint. The Maya were brilliant master astronomers, mapping the complex movements of the stars with stunning precision. Their advanced mathematics included zero, allowing them to create a highly accurate solar calendar. For centuries, this great society dominated the region, expanding their territory and vast wealth. Grand central plazas hosted vibrant markets, where traders exchanged precious jade, exotic feathers, and cacao beans. Advanced agriculture thrived through complex irrigation networks and terraced fields across the fertile valleys.